Guys, today's video is for you if you are a pharmacist trained outside of UK and maybe you are watching this from your home country considering a move to UK, or you're already there here in the UK on a dependent visa or on a student visa and you're actually wondering, can I work in a pharmacy right now without having OSPAP? The short answer is yes, you can, and today I am going to show you exactly how by walking you through a new role called as the pharmacy assistant or a dispenser role. What we are going to cover today is what is day-to-day activities of a pharmacy dispenser, what are the qualifications needed, and what will you earn and how to actually find this role. So let's get right into it. Before we talk about pharmacy assistant role, I want to give you a quick clear picture of three main pharmacy roles in the UK because it is so easy to get confused, especially if you're coming from a different healthcare system. The role one is the pharmacist, that too with OSPAP. So according to the General Pharmaceutical Council, the GPhC, the regulators of pharmacists in the Great Britain, a pharmacist is a registered healthcare professional who is responsible for the safe and effective use of medicines for the patients as well as for the public. So in the UK, to qualify as a pharmacist, it takes minimum of like 5 years combining study and employment. The UK graduates complete a 4-year M.Pharm degree and 1 year of foundational training and then pass the GPhC registration assessment. But if you are trained outside of the EEA, which covers most of us watching here, you need to complete something called as the OSPAP, which is the Overseas Pharmacist Assessment Program. So this is a 1-year full-time postgraduate diploma followed by 52 weeks of foundational training, and then the GPhC common registration assessment happens and before you can join and register to work as a pharmacist. So basically OSPAP, foundational training, then you have the GPhC exam, then you become the registered pharmacist, and this is for the overseas trained pharmacist. So that's a full route. It is a significant commitment of time, money, but it is a full path of registration to become a pharmacist in the UK. So role number 2, which is a pharmacy technician. So according to the NHS Health Careers, pharmacy technicians are essential for smooth running of pharmacies, making sure that the patients get most out of the medicines. So these guys work under the supervision of a pharmacist, speak with the patients, give medicines on the prescription or over the counter, and advise on the side effects of the medicines and also lifestyle modifications. Critically, pharmacy technicians are GPhC professionals like the pharmacists. They must also complete a 2-year accredited training program, usually a level 3 apprenticeship, and then register with the GPhC before they can actually legally work as a pharmacy technician. In the NHS, they are typically banded as Band 4. A pharmacy dispenser, however, they cannot call themselves as a pharmacy technician because this title is legally protected. Now coming to role number 3, which is a pharmacy assistant or a dispenser, and that's going to be today's focus. So according to NHS Health Careers, pharmacy assistants, they help the pharmacist and the pharmacy technicians in order to prepare, order or dispense the medicines. So they work as part of the pharmacy team under the direct direction of a registered pharmacist. This role does not require GPhC registration. However, they do not have a set entry requirements or qualifications, and they can start in this role while you're planning for your OSPAP, during your studies, or while you're waiting to secure your foundational training year. So it is an ideal entry point for pharmacists trained outside of the UK. So what does this role actually look like in our day-to-day activities? Here's a breakdown that I actually found from the NHS job descriptions that was posted on the website. So in both community as well as hospital pharmacy, the duties would include receiving and taking prescriptions from patients, dispensing prescriptions, counting, labeling and assembling the medications accurately, then using a computer system to generate the stock list as well as the dispensing labels, and also answering queries from the patients either face-to-face or over the phone, and also ordering, receiving, loading, unloading medicinal deliveries, then also pre-packing, assembling as well as labeling the medicines, referring to complex questions or problems to the supervising pharmacist, and selling over-the-counter medications, and also making sure that you're maintaining a clean, organized dispensary. So As someone who has already got a pharmacy degree, many of these tasks will feel very familiar to you, and with a background, this is a great advantage here, and you will sincerely understand what is the science behind what you're dispensing, making you a stronger candidate and a fast learner on this job. So what are the qualifications and entry requirements? This is one of the most common questions, as what qualifications do I need for this role? And the honest answer is very few formal ones to get started with. According to the NHS health careers, there are no set entry requirements, but most of the employers will expect to have some good literacy, numeracy, as well as IT skills. They may even ask you for some equivalent qualifications of GCSE with some relevant experience, and that's it. So as an overseas trained pharmacist, the degree that we have like B.Pharm, M.Pharm, Pharm.D, it absolutely satisfies the requirements, and actually on paper you are overqualified. So you may just need to frame your experience well in that CV so that it does not look like you're too overqualified for this job. So what are the training that you will receive when you are on this job? You will be given trainings covering the health and safety, use of NHS dispensary IT systems, dispensing processes and procedures to follow, medicines to be handled carefully. And in addition to that, the employer will also provide you with some qualifications that you can work towards in this role. So that is the NVQ level 2 pharmacy training, where you can learn this qualification for this role delivered through around 12 to 18 months of apprenticeship program or as a standalone qualification. So in this qualification, it covers dispensing, stock control, customer service and medicinal safety. And upon completion of this level 2 qualification, you can unlock the progression to band 3 senior pharmacist roles, assistant roles, or even dispensing roles, which will form a foundation for moving into much later roles like the pharmacy technician trainings. So talking about the salary and the benefits, so here in the NHS, according to the current figures that I could find on the website, I saw that the band 2, which is the entry level for the pharmacy assistant, it sits within 24,000 pounds, and the band 3, which is a senior experienced pharmacy assistant, they would sit between 25 to 27,000 pounds, and band 4, which is for the pharmacy technicians, it would land between 29 to 31,000 pounds. And the qualified pharmacists, that is within the band 6, they would be in 37,000 pounds up to 50,000 pounds. So what I found is that based on the current listings on the NHS jobs as well as on the Indeed, the community pharmacist assistant roles advertise between 11 pounds to 14 pounds per hour, depending on the location as well as the experience. So which actually aligns with the NHS band 2 to 3 rate salary. And beyond the salary, the NHS roles comes with so many excellent benefits, including a defined pension scheme, annual leave entitlements, sick pay, staff development support. There are so many more. Now, thinking about the career progression, I really want to be clear about this. Pharmacy assistant role is just a launch pad. It is not the ceiling. So here is just a few typical progression pathways. Like step 1, pharmacy assistant, you start in band 2. Start there, you get familiar with the UK dispensary environment, the NHS systems, the patient interactions and the UK medicines legislation. And then you move into step 2, where you become a senior or a checking dispensing assistant, which is in the band 3. After completing your level 2 of the pharmacy services qualifications, you move into band 3. You also would take up more complex dispensing. You would be handling controlled drugs, and also you will be monitoring newer assistants and answering complex queries at this point. Next comes the step 3, where you become the pre-registration trainee pharmacy technician, moving into band 4, where you are ready and you can apply those funded 2 years of a pharmacy technician apprenticeship. Upon completion of that, you can then register with the GPhC to become a qualified pharmacy technician under GPhC and be a GPhC registered professional. Last is the step 4, where you become the OSPAP registered pharmacist. Here, if you are willing to go for a pharmacist training and become a full-time pharmacist, you can even enroll into OSPAP and become a registered pharmacist in the UK. So working in the dispensary environment during all this time means that you arrive at your OSPAP already familiar with what the UK pharmacy practice is, what are the NHS systems, how to communicate with the patients. So you're building a wealth of knowledge here, and that's a significant advantage rather than starting from the scratch here. Honestly, that's what I believe. So the next question is where to find all this information and where to actually look for these jobs. I would go to NHS Jobs, that is NHS Jobs UK, and this is a primary source for all the NHS hospitals, community trust, pharmacy roles. All you need to do is just search for pharmacy assistant or dispensing assistant roles within your location. And if you are going to apply for the community pharmacist through Lloyd's, for Boots, or various other independent pharmacists, you can also look through Indeed, because Indeed has a volume of lot of community pharmacy listings. Also, some other places to look is Total Jobs, Read.com, Readco.uk, LinkedIn, because all of these larger chains, they post their advertisements through these websites. Also, another useful tip will be to directly go to the company's websites like Boots, Lloyd's, Pharmacy, and there also you will be able to find a lot of more information on the job postings. Other tips would be to walk into a local community pharmacist, hand in your CV directly. Another one would be to check your local GP surgeries and primary care networks, as they are also employing dispensing pharmacy staffs now. One of the key things that I want to leave you with is, if you are starting with no NVQ level qualification at this point, the best thing to do right now would be to start applying for trainee jobs, a trainee pharmacist assistant as well as trainee dispensing roles, which would be easier to land a job with the NHS or with any local pharmacist in the beginning. And as you slowly progress, the employer would slowly enroll you into one of these qualifications like the NVQ level 2, and you can get the certification within 12 to 18 months. And after the qualification, you can slowly move into the different bands and slowly work your way up, either becoming a senior dispenser or a pharmacy technician roles, as you are able to progress into NVQ level 3, 4, etc. And once all of this is ready, you can also think about applying your OSPAP. So that's a key takeaway that I want to leave you with. So to wrap up, if you are overseas trained pharmacist who is already in the UK or planning to come here, the pharmacy assistant or dispenser role is one of the best ways to get your foot in the door. You don't need to get the OSPAP, you don't need a GPhC registration. All you need to have is a pharmacy degree and a clinical knowledge that will make you an extremely strong candidate. So you can start earning, you can start gaining the UK experience, you can build a career pathway, whether your ultimate goal is to become a registered pharmacist or to become a pharmacy technician. So it will help you kickstart your career within the UK pharmacy environment. So that's the video, guys. If you found this video useful, please give it a thumbs up, and genuinely helps this video reach more people who need this information. And if you have questions, please feel free to drop them in the comments below. I'll do my best to reply them, as you have seen in my past videos. And I link all the references that I have mentioned in this video in the description box below, so that you can go and verify everything yourself. Thanks for watching. Till we meet next, take care and ciao.